Take a moment to cherish the moments you've made and look forward to making new ones on the horizon.
May this new year bring you everything good, everything prosperous.
As we bid farewell to the old year and welcome you to the new year,
may your heart be filled with joy and your home with laughter. And of course, may your spirit be filled with hope.
We'll be bringing you live updates, exciting performance, and inspiring stories throughout the day.
Stay tuned for our special New Year's coverage and let's make this year unforgettable.
Thank you for making us a part of your celebration.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Ẹ̀yin tèmi ní Nàìjíríà lókè òkun, mo ń kí yín fún Kérésìmesì ọdún yìí á yabo fún wa o. Gbogbo àlàrí bá ti ṣe tààrọ̀ náà gbégbá o. I wish my fans all over the world, in Europe, America, Australia, everywhere, a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Catch ya next year.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
A very good evening to you and welcome to another exciting episode of The Issues on Voice of the People Television, where we bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I am your host, Nenna Ndomdioto. On today's episode of The Issues, we're examining the complexities of Nigeria's politics and governance. From court ordering remand of Malami's son and one other to Kuje prison, to Amotekun disclosing arrest of suspected terrorist fleeing from Sokoto. Also, Wike claims PDP will collapse if he defects to APC. And finally, Kwankwaso and Kano governor clash over defection move. Join us as we break down the facts and provide context to help you stay informed. We'll take a break, and when we return, we will dig deeper into these topics. Don't go away. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. A federal high court in Abuja has ordered the remand of former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, his son Abdulaziz Malami, and Bashir Asabe at the Kuje Correctional Facility, pending the hearing and determination of their bail application. The defendants were arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on a 16-count charge bordering on alleged money laundering, but both defendants pleaded not guilty to the charges. The presiding judge, Justice Emeka Nwite, subsequently ordered their remand in Kuje pending determination of their bail applications and adjourned the matter to a later date for continuation of trial. The charges include large-scale money laundering and the illegal acquisition of properties worth over 8.7 billion naira. The indictment claimed that between 2015 and 2025, during Malami's time as the country's Attorney General, they used multiple bank accounts, corporate entities, and high-value real estate transactions to indirectly acquire the illicit funds. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by two distinguished guests. Here in the studio, we have Dr. Peter Anosike. Dr. Anosike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He's also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. He's also the author of the most talked about book titled Abuse of Power: How Democracy Turned into Tyranny of the Few. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for having me. Yes, sir. Joining us virtually, we have Lekia Christian, who is a public affairs analyst, a social justice crusader, and the president of Niger Delta Coalition Against Violence. Thank you for being with us, Lakia. He'll get to join us during the show. Let's come to you first, Dr. Anosike. What's your reaction to this new development?
The issue is this, like the title of my book said, abuse of power. Abubakar Malami abused power during his 8-year term in office. This is a case of the hunter now being hunted. During his time, he felt that he was God. He never dreamed that that today will come. Understand? He never dreamed that today will come. So that's why wherever position you are, wherever you find yourself, always think what happens the day after. What happens the day after, and if you know that there will be a day after, you will not be reckless. Rather, you will be cautious in whatever you are doing. So it is the atrocities that he condoned, encouraged, and even participated in that is haunting him now, because he felt that that Buhari or the APC government will be there forever. Understand? So that's exactly what is happening now. But on the other hand, it is happening because he crossed over to ADC. Assuming he has remained in APC and continued to act as a party man, these revelations would not have been coming. Understand? So because what Yahaya Bello that is being accused of is far higher than what Abubakar Malami is being accused of. But now Yahaya Bello has even declared his intention that to contest Senate in 2027. Because why? He remained in APC. Understand? So for me, I'm not a supporter of what he did while he was the Attorney General of the Federation. But Nigeria must not lose sight of what is happening. This revelation is coming because he is in ADC. Understand? So this is a political vendetta. This is political vendetta, and but as we speak, an accused is deemed innocent until found guilty. So he is still innocent, understand? Because he has not been convicted. And again, our security agencies, what they know best is how to find charges to make a political opponent to look bad in order to impress their master. Understand? So until we see this case proven in the court, now we will now say that this is really happening. Understand? So, but I know that Malami abused power. He didn't obey court summons and so forth during his days as the AGF.
Okay, I want to ask you two questions. First, you said he abused power and he didn't obey court rules.
He wasn't obeying
court orders.
He was reckless.
Can you give us instances of this recklessness? But aside from that, do you see this Malami's case actually going beyond what it is? Do you think that it will actually go to the point where he will be convicted by a court?
One, it is the judge that will determine what happened, understand? And why it will even go far is because of he is that's politically in the wrong camp, being ADC. Understand me? That would even be the reason why it will go far. Again, he has expressed his intention to contest for the governor of Kebbi State in 2027. So the governor of the state, which is an AP state, understand, may want to deter him from coming out to contest. Understand? The incumbent may deter him from coming out that to contest because he is popular in the state, in Kebbi, and also being one of Buhari's apostles.
Okay, so I actually asked the first question. I said, what are those reckless? Because he kept mentioning abuse of power and how reckless he was in office.
All the judgments of the court for Nnamdi Kanu was under him, and he never obeyed any of them. Understand? He was instrumental, understand, to the rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria, and so many others. Understand? So it's like karma coming on him. Understand? That's why I keep on saying the evil that you condoned or the evil that you promoted, that can come back to haunt you. So it is now haunting him.
Well, is there something wrong with one trying to have political ambitions and also declaring for an entire different party from the party where he used to be?
One, because we have people in power who are not delivering on their campaign promises. And when you are not delivering on your campaign promises, the possibility of you winning the next election will not be there. Understand? So the only thing is to fight whoever when they come out strong against you. So that's what is happening. And most of the governors are not delivering on their campaign promises. So that's what is happening. That's to make sure he is intimidated, harassed, understand, so that he will not come out in 2027 to contest.
Okay, and we've seen many cases of corruption in our country. What is there a loophole? What is it that actually makes our leaders, when they get to the seat of office, they begin to loot so much money? Nigeria, we see Nigeria as, okay, Nigerians are actually hungry. Nigerians are looking for money. Nigerians need money. Nigerians need so much. Infrastructural, in terms of infrastructure, we don't have it. But every time an office holder gets into the office, it gets to loot as much, as in so much money that you can't even think about. So why is it that we have some loopholes in our system that allow such corruption to continually occur?
Well, this is so many factors comes into this. One, that in running that Nigeria is one of the countries where running for political office is very, very expensive. Understand? And you have to shoulder all this. In America, they do campaign funding. They do crowdfunding. People raise money for you. Understand? But in Nigeria, you borrow money, you send your property in order to run for an election. So if you are able to get there, you have to make sure that in running for the next election, you are not going to borrow money or send your houses. So the only way to do that is to steal public funds. The only way to do that is to steal public funds so that you stop sending on your properties or borrowing money from banks. So this is one of the reasons why people steal when they get into political office. Some also steal as a retirement benefit, because most of them, many of them cannot function elsewhere except in the political circle. So what happens when they are off that circle? They don't have any other skill. They have no business, they have no skill. So the only thing is they will be living on the money that they stole when they were in the public office. Then there are also the Nigerian factor. If you go there as a governor and come out poor, understand, they will be cursing you, they will be insulting you. So they feel that once you get into political office, it is an opportunity for you to become a billionaire, understand? And okay, to make those around you billionaires. And to become a billionaire and to make those around you billionaires, you have to steal public funds. So this is it's all encompassing. It's all encompassing.
Okay, thank you, sir. I will move to the next conversation we'll have on ground. But before then, we'll take a break, and when we return, we'll bring you the details of this particular story.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just...
Glad to have you back. We have joining us virtually Lekia Christian. He is a public affairs analyst and social justice crusader, and also the president, Niger Delta Coalition Against Violence. Glad to have you join us tonight.
Thank you very much, even if I'm joining late. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
So we're about to move to our next conversation or the next topic. But before then, I'd like you to just speak just a bit about what we had talked about previously. We talked about the remand of former Attorney General of Federation and, of course, the son and one other. What do you make of this new development before we jump to the next conversation we have tonight?
The former Attorney General and Minister of Justice is a well-informed person and a high-profile society personality. What before the court is sensitive. And we believe that the course of justice should be allowed to flow freely. The remand is nothing unusual. They've not taken him to a shrine like in Gige. What I see is that they've been remanded and they turned down his bail application. Let's see how things unfold in the coming days. On Tuesday, I think he'll be rearranged before the court. The matter will be discussed on the basis of his merit. And I think this is one thing that will serve as a deterrent to people who are in public offices to know that whether you are in or out of office, your crimes will still chase you. And you can still be brought to book for whatever you do. That's only when they will find him guilty. But for now, the presumption of innocence is still on him. And we believe that the anti-graft agency, which he superintended over while he was Minister of Justice and Attorney General, knows exactly what they are doing. There are mixed reactions to all of this. You know, he was a former member of the APC, and now he has jumped to another party. He has dumped the APC and is seeking political relevance as governor in his home state. Whether it's an issue of vendetta or whether it's an issue that is being handled on the basis of his merit. Only time will unfold. But I think it's nothing unusual. It's nothing we never expected. Is that if his hands are clean, we know how he handled issues and his reaction, even when it comes to court orders while he was in office. So, well, it may be vendetta. It could be a natural cause of justice, or whatever. But the coming days will show us clearly the way things are going.
Thank you very much. Let's move to our next conversation. The Ondo State Security Outfit and Motekun says it has arrested 39 suspected terrorists allegedly fleeing from Sokoto State after the Christmas Day airstrikes carried out by the United States military in Nigeria's northwest. The state commander of the security outfit, Adetunji Adeleye, said the bandits relocated to the forest in the state. Meanwhile, a former intelligence officer, David Amakri, has described recent U.S. precision drone strikes on terrorist enclaves in Nigeria as a clear warning to insurgent groups. Amakri says the strikes demonstrate enhanced international cooperation and could weaken terrorist operational capacity if sustained alongside ground intelligence. Let me come to you first, Dr. Anosike. Let's start with the later part of what I read. The intelligence officer saying, I'm sure I know that you are really applauding this particular U.S. strike. So I feel I know the direction you talk to go.
When you cannot help yourself and somebody decides that to help you, is it a bad thing? So it is not a bad thing. So these people have been there since 2009. So they need to be sent back to their Mecca. And they are very, very fortunate that each of them have 72 virgins waiting for them. And that's for the advantage that we Christians don't have. Nobody is waiting for us. So what is happening is good. Donald Trump has said that it will continue, and it is going to continue. And mind you, this is not like ripe mangoes that's falling down from tree. This is a sensitive thing, and there must be no collective damage. So before any strike is done, they have to get their intelligence correct, understand, and make sure that they are going to hit the right people. Unlike what our Air Force is doing, understand, because every 2 months our Nigerian Air Force are bombing wrong people, innocent civilians. And you can see, since December 25th, nobody has said that one innocent person was affected. And that's the way it should go. So the intelligence should be coming, and the surveillance should also be coming. So this is an opportunity for them to surrender their guns, understand? And whatever brainwashing that they have had, to say that they will not do it again, then the Nigerians, the DSS will now know what to do with them.
You actually talked about them surrendering their guns, but do you think we'll get to that point where these people, these bandits, they look like it seems they are very hardened, but will they get to a point where they will surrender, where they will decide to surrender their guns?
You know, that promise was the guy that invented it should be one of the most intelligent persons in the world. Understand?
The guy that invented what?
That if you die, 72 virgins are waiting for you. So with that, they are willing to die. Understand me? They are very, very willing to die. I watched one Gaza terrorist that set films for his own suicide mission. Understand? He wants to commit suicide, and he set a video that will video him while committing that suicide. A Christian can hardly do that. He did that because he's happy to die, and the guy was just 25. Understand? So it is that brainwash. That's why they are not afraid of that dying. So the issue is this. Jesus made a difference by talking about forgiveness. So if they can surrender their guns, understand, and say that they have changed, then they now have to take its own course.
You mentioned forgiveness. Does it mean that you are in support of these bandits being reintegrated into the society? I
said the law will take its own course. Understand? If an armed robber surrenders his gun, understand? I don't want to thief again. No, you cannot tell him go back to your house. He should be arrested. Understand me? So that's
your take. Okay, let's go to our virtual guest, Lekia Krishnan. You know what? Of course, one of the things this former DSS boss said, he made mention of how expensive and these missiles that were used are, and then he said that America would not actually waste their money to go bomb just one desert like that. So he's actually saying that whatever happened on December 25 was, like it's been said, is a precision attack. He actually met his target. So, and then he's also saying that there will be more of this. What do you make of this?
The operation that you saw happen was born out of collaboration between Nigeria and the United States. What the public do not know is the mode of that collaboration, because some time ago, when some people came in the name of amnesty or surrendering or turning a new leaf, what the Nigerian government did was to reabsorb them into the military. And that was the worst mistake. The training as terrorists and that of military officers, combatants were not the same. And so bringing them together was another way of encouraging sabotage, And you see the level of sabotage and killing that the army and the Nigerian military suffered while waging this war. So coming to the United States, they would not want the level of collaboration that will make them depend on information flow from this contaminated bulk. But I tell you of a truth, America will not come and waste such resources on Nigeria for no cost. So there has been serious collaboration. There were communications between the authorities of the both government, and I am very, very convinced that at this level, the right thing has been done, and that those who should not be able to access the content and the quality of collaboration that is being done made will be out of it. That's why it was successful. And I don't really think there's any need for people to be treated with kid gloves. Lives have been taken. A whole lot has happened. Surrendering or not surrendering. If you are surrendering because you've been overpowered. Nigeria equally has the capacity to have humbled the terrorists and bandits. But because of the sabotage that is coming from within, they were unable. How come we went to Liberia and were able to end that crisis? Even recently under Tinubu, you saw how Nigeria moved to Niger and quelled a coup d'etat, and nobody is talking about anything. We are not cheap as a force. We are one of the best in Africa. But then we've never been together because of the level of division, that is in this country. That's why our armed forces appear to be failures. The last place you expect anything in the form of fragmentation, ethno-tribal fragmentation, is within the armed forces. But for it to have eaten deep into that institution, that tells you how weak we have become as a nation, because that instinct of patriotism had been killed. And while people are working together with divided interest and intent, as well as purpose, how do they achieve cohesion when nobody lives in this country? A whole lot of them will be thinking, even the corruption will show you that when people from the north commit corruption, it looks like a harvest from the Nigerian state to the north. They will be celebrated. When somebody from the east does the same thing, they will say, he has brought home some of our harvest from the Nigerian state. They celebrate as part of their gain. It ought not to be so. Nobody should celebrate corruption or symbols of violence within the society. And I'm praying that moving forward, if this is being sustained, definitely the terrorist forces will be weakened. And beyond that, even where they all surrender, we need to carry out proper intelligence-driven investigation to the root out every member as well as their sponsors, and take a decision that will be in the best interest of Nigeria if we must truly achieve the targets we seek.
I say before I come back to Dr. Anosike, I want to speak to the Ondo State Security Outfit and Motekun, saying that it has arrested 39 suspected terrorists who allegedly were fleeing from Sokoto as a result of this of the strikes of the U.S. strikes on Christmas Day at on Sokoto, in this area in the vicinity of Sokoto, and then they are fleeing from there and they are coming into the west. What do you make of this?
That's one of the reasons why we should be concerned with those who come into our land, because for them to have moved, they moved into forest there, and because of the level of alert, unity of purpose that exists within the Yorubas, particularly their own security outfit, their Motekun, you see that they were able to contain them. They've been proactive. They've strengthened their instrument of surveillance, and so any movement into that as is being watched, and that's why it was easier for them to be apprehended. This is what we need to replicate in other parts of this country, and this is becoming increasingly necessary because the state institutions vested with this responsibility are growing weaker as a result of this fragmented interest that exists within the military and other security institutions. So until we grow that, we regroom our people and regrow their passion for patriotism, we will never get it easily right. So but for now, we need to set up a similar thing across board, so that we can be careful to monitor those who are coming into, because if we don't know what's happening to the forest, we can be in our houses, sleeping, and they invade at any time. So it's commendable that they respond to that situation and to put it under control. Other parts of Nigeria should equally learn from it. And this, like the Americans said, they are out to protect Christians, and the Nigerian government say not just religious victims, but a whole lot of people are victims. So even within the North, Christians there ought to be secure, and that's why we commend this particular precision move, by the United States forces. So I pray that we will all be sensitive and will all rise to the occasion by setting up similar outfits that will protect the best interests of our respective territories, so as to gain security. Of course, we expect all of that to complement the conventional security institutions, until we can truly believe that they will want to turn a new leaf by believing in Nigeria and recreating that passion and love for one nation.
Okay, thank you. I'll come back to you. Let me come back to Dr. Peter. Dr. Anosike, what risk arise when suspects begin to flee across state lines following military action?
Before I answer your question, I want to raise an objection. There's no history of Southeasterners celebrating in the Southeast. Understand? That's to start with. We are not even being given that the opportunity is not even there. Let alone being celebrated. Understand? We don't have that history. Understand? Then number two, why people are saying that America just struck a farm. What this weapon does is that's once it bombs, it buries the victim. Understand me? For you to know how many people that died, you have to go and dig it up. Understand? So it is not where you see dead bodies scattered everywhere. This is a different kind of weapon. So they understand. For you that to ascertain the number of people that were killed, you have that to dig on where it hit. Understand? So, but those pictures are not being seen. So people have gone around there. They have seen a mighty hole, but for you cannot go to dig it up because securities will arrest you. So that's why it's not easy to say this is the number of people that were killed. So on the issue of these people, now we have to make sure that it is the right people that that are being arrested, because once there's an attack, people move, people try to relocate. Understand? So I don't know the 39 people that were arrested, how they find out that they are terrorists, because terrorism is not written on anybody's face. Understand? Terrorism is not written on anybody's face unless they were interrogated or they were seen running with arms and ammunition. Then you can say that these are terrorists. Just like I said the other time, it is in law. It is said that it is better that 99 criminals go free than for one innocent person to suffer injustice. So there should be no discriminatory arrest in this. And since you read this, I have been working my brain to know how many days it will take people that run from Sokoto to the southwest. Because I was born in the north, I know the terrain, the topography very well. Just like from Abuja, that to Sokoto, is same like from Abuja to the southwest. It's a very far distance. So I've been trying that to find out how people can run from Sokoto to maybe Ondo within 2 days, and I'm not seeing the possibility. And they must have passed other states before getting to the southwest. So how were they able to cross those states? Understand? If they are traveling in a group, and if they are traveling in a group, it's very easy to be spotted and arrested. So they shouldn't be foolish enough to be traveling that's as a group.
Okay, well, the chairman or the leader, let me use that word, is saying that they will be profiled. From what's the story I read, that he will be profiled.
So it's wrong to call them terrorists. Why they have not been profiled?
But he said, according to him, he actually said a couple of days ago, 39 suspects were arrested altogether, claiming that as a result of the heat turned on them in the northern part of the country, they are relocating to the forest. So it might seem that profiling is ongoing. So we hope that this might just be a story that we'll still get to hear more about in the coming days. Okay.
It's a developing story.
But, you know, but don't you think that there's a possibility that when these strikes come in, when they come into a particular place, that that would actually make people, or the terrorists in quote, make them move from their location to another location?
Yes, they will move, and innocent people will also move for fear of attack, for fear of repeating of that strike. Understand me? So profiling is very, very important, that to make sure that wrong people are not arrested and being framed as terrorists.
Okay, let's move on to politics. Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, says the People's Democratic Party, PDP, will collapse if he defects to the All Progressive Congress. Wike, who disclosed this during a media chat, insisted that he's still a member of PDP and is not considering leaving the party. He stated that if he wants to decamp to APC, that will be the end of PDP because many leaders of the party in other states will join him. Speaking on the possible takeover of his political structure in Rivers by Governor Fubara, Wike insisted that his political relevance in the state was incontestable. Wike further argued that Fubara's defection to APC does not make him the leader of the party in the state, adding that others had defected before him, so his defection is inconsequential. You know, let me come to you first, Lekia, because you are in Rivers State. And let's talk about what Wike is saying. He's insisting that his political relevance in Rivers State is incontestable. Is that true? Do you think that he's just blowing his trumpet and these actually words that are not, no atom of truth in it?
Rivers politics. And even the process that threw up Fubara, you would know the man who was behind the scene. And they know what they know, and they know how they do what they do. I am not a part of their inner circle, but as an observer, I can clearly tell you that it is not enough to see the world through the window of your own eyes and thinking. You know, a whole lot has come to play. We must understand the difference between the Superman whose time is up and the man who is on the saddle currently. Fubara is the governor of Rivers State. And by virtue of his defection, he is already the #1 party man in terms of leadership in the state. However, because they are working as a team, who is stronger between the both is a matter of understanding between two of them. Who sits for the other? I've never seen Wike address Fubara as his leader, but I've seen Fubara as governor address Wike as his leader. Whatever understanding they had, I wasn't a part of it. But I know that Fubara is today a card-carrying member of the APC. What happens tomorrow is nothing anybody can predict because change is constant. Anything can happen. Anybody can claim whatever. But there's still time unfolding. So I'll employ that we all be patient. The most important thing would not be who anybody eventually turns out to be, but the goal they have set before themselves. A united goal of delivering the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the coming elections. And if they are all working together, their modus operandi on how to achieve that is within them. I am a civil society person. I'm more interested in the processes and what is expected, how votes should be strengthened to count to determine the outcome of these processes, and how people should be civilized in terms of dealing with this electoral process. We shouldn't allow people to manipulate the system to the disadvantage of the majority of Rivers people, because whether we like it or not, democracy has remained a people-centered experience. So if a system that will not allow the people's vote to determine the outcome of an electoral process is being enshrined then the purpose of that democratic experience is defeated. So my prayer is, how do we get good governance in Rivers State? How would the political actors be conscience guided, and how would the umpire ensure that the outcome of this process is truly determined by the votes of Rivers people and by extension the larger Nigerian society when it comes to the next polls?
Okay, thank you for your response. But before I come back to the studios, Wike has said that if he leaves PDP, that PDP would collapse. Can you just speak to that before I come back to Dr. Anosike?
Institutions that can never be smaller than any one of its members, no matter how powerful you are. But they know if it's a conspiracy or an understanding they have to say, if you go, the party will collapse. He knows exactly why he said that, but I don't think so. Political parties are always supreme. That's why no matter what happens, when the party takes a decision, no matter who you are, you succumb to the pressure of the party. The party's decision is collective, supreme, and superior to the position, impression, and whatever an individual member of the party thinks, no matter how correct or incorrect he may have been at the time of taking that decision. So PDP, whether they're still there or no longer there, it's a matter of time to understand, because we've seen the exodus of people who had gone out. We've also seen the infighting within the party. I don't think there is so much left of the PDP as an individual, if I must be very, very sincere. Be that as it may, you can only weep for the PDP, because they were once the alpha and omega in terms of political party structure in the country. But today, they're a shadow of who they were. Nobody can truly pride himself, as a giant of a failing house, a failed house, or a falling house. So it's a pathetic situation. But I don't know. Donald Trump was able to do something that was uncommon in political history by fighting back and fighting against an incumbent and regaining victory. He got that victory hard-earned, but the PDP is not even wearing that posture of confronting the system. They are only playing a prostitute with the ruling party. It's an unfortunate situation. So if everybody is PDP, so be it. You can't be in the PDP and be the Superman of the new house. You must, but if the both of you have agreed to work together, that means you still have the PDP APC in place. It's an unfortunate situation for us to experience two different people, doing one thing in two different names. It's not very healthy. It's not very healthy. So where is the ideological difference between the both parties? They are only united by a common interest. So I don't see that as an issue that should even be taking so much of our time. If there's anything I see happening, is an ego conflict, what I consider as class arrogance, and that may not be in the best interest of political progression, for now.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me come back to Dr. Anosike. Dr. Anosike, this particular story, what do you make of this statement? Wike, bigger than, according to him, he's saying that PDP would collapse if he defects. So that means he's trying to say that he's bigger than the party, or what do you think?
I want to make a passionate appeal to Nyesom Wike to defect to APC. I'm wearing white. I wouldn't mind kneeling down that to beg Nyesom Wike to defect to APC. Enough of this stupidity, enough of this madness, enough of this arrogance. When PDP was being formed, they did not know of any character like Nyesom Wike they don't know anything about him. He is just a joiner of the party. And no champion stays forever. Just like what Sheyi Makinde did. Nelson Wike has never earned 100,000 naira of his own outside government. So all the money that he's bragging about is River State Fund. Nelson Wike, defect to APC. Let them give you 000. Since FOBRA is 001. Defect, let them give you 000. Let us see what will happen. So that's all the stupidity that it should stop. Who is he? Who is he? He is not the first governor of River State. He's not the second governor of River State. And if Peter Odende and Rotimi Amechi did what he is doing, he would not have been governor of that state. And some people are I know why Rivers was created in 1967. Understand? That mindset is still happening there up to today.
What mindset is that?
The mindset. Gowon did not create River State for development. He created River State for destruction, for sabotage, for betrayal. And that is still going on in that state up to today.
Wow.
That purpose for which Gowon created River State in 1967 is still going on there up to today. So, Nelson Wike, defect. Let's see what happens.
Well, Dr. Anosike, you've responded passionately there, but this is where we have to draw the curtains. We don't have much time for us to dissect more of what you've said. But thank you very much, Dr. Anosike, for being a part of the issues. And thank you very much, Lekia Christian, for being a part of the issue all the way from Port Harcourt. And that's all we have for today's episode of The Issues. We explored the challenges facing Nigeria's politics and governance. Thank you for being a part of the show and for joining us. Don't forget to tune in next time for more in-depth analysis and discussion. Follow us on social media to stay up to date on the latest news and insight. Until next time, stay informed. I am Nenna Ndomdioto. This has been The Issues on Voice of the People Television, where the future faces forward. Please don't forget to stay tuned for Hashtag with Vivian and Ikechukwu by 8 p.m. Don't go away.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Whether you've been with us through the ups and downs or just joined us for this festive season,
take a moment to cherish the moments you've made and look forward to making new ones on the horizon.
May this new year bring you everything good, everything prosperous.
As we bid farewell to the old year and welcome you to the new year,
May your heart be filled with joy and your home with laughter. And of course, may your spirit be filled with hope.
We'll be bringing you live updates, exciting performance, and inspiring stories throughout the day.
Stay tuned for our special New Year's coverage and let's make this year unforgettable.
thank you for making us a part of your celebration.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
ẹ̀yin tèmi ní nàìjíríà lókè òkun mò ń kí yín fún kérésìmesì ọdún yìí á yabo fún wa o gbogbo àlàrí bá ti ṣe tààrọ̀ náà gbégbá o. I wish my fans all over the world in Europe, America, Australia, everywhere a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Catch ya next year.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.